It's time. It's time. It's time. Today is June the 29th, 2025, and it is 12:21 a.m. My favorite book of all time. My favorite book of all time. My favorite book of all time. The 48 Laws of Power, authored by Robert Greene. This book is the most read book, studied book, and I even almost came to the point where I listened to the book, but I never finished. I didn't finish listening to it on YouTube, but I got to the end. That was around the time where I had to, when I took my hiatus from everything. But I almost I almost listened to the 48 Laws of Power. And the reason why I didn't finish it was because I had the knowledge up here. I had read it so many times. I had studied it so many times that I already had the knowledge. And I had first read the 48 Laws of Power, I would say about 15 years ago. I had the small pocket size, concise version. And this was before Kindle Unlimited. This was before Amazon Kindle. This is before all that. Ebooks always been out, but Amazon, my personal opinion, made ebooks mainstream because they've always been out. There's little websites you can go to buy ebooks, but Amazon pretty much cornered the market of ebooks and made it mainstream and made it popular. But I digress. This is my favorite book of all time, and this book will have a place in my library. This book will have a place in my library. I no longer have the concise edition. I had to do an emergency move 3 years ago. And the library that I did build, I had to get rid of it because I had to do an emergency move. But 48 Laws of Power definitely earned a spot in my library when I have my own residence. But I digress. Why is this book my favorite? Because it teaches you how to maneuver through life with control. Because that's what power is. Power is nothing more than control. Okay. Now, I believe that life is all about balance. And you have to do what's right in your eyes. Okay? You have to make decisions from a position of strength and never a position of weakness. And see, this is what the 48 Laws of Power is all about. Always being in a position of strength. Playing the perfect courtier. And overall, the reason why a lot of people dislike the 48 laws of power, and there's a whole lot of people that love the 48 laws of power, and I'm one of them. The dislike for it is because it teaches you to master the art of indirection, playing the perfect courtier, putting your hand in the velvet glove. And some people take that out of context from the perspective of you always have to be indirect, you always have to be manipulative, you always have to be deceptive, and that's not true. I agree with being manipulative, I agree with being deceptive, I agree with being indirect in its proper time and in its proper place. If a person or a situation is not opposition, if it's not an enemy, or if it isn't competition, there's no reason for me to be indirect. There's no reason for me to be manipulative. There's no reason for me to be deceptive. Life is a competition. And only the people that's willing to do what is necessary, make sure y'all check out that video, is going to win. Sometimes you got to do things that are ugly. Sometimes you got to do things that are not popular to win. Shout out to the founder of Honey Drip, Aristotle Verner Jr. He has a short talking about the 48 laws of power. Make sure y'all check it out. It teaches you how to maneuver in life. Because Donald Trump said it the best, and I 100% agree with this. Life is about winners and losers. The people that succeed in life is going to win, and the people that fail in life is going to lose. It's that simple. The 48 laws of power teaches you how to be subtle. It teaches you how to play the game and play the game to win. One of the ones that benefited me the most in my 9 to 5 is not outshining the master. Every time I stayed on my manager's good side, anytime I was never a threat to my manager, which I've never been, I've always got what I wanted. I never talked about the manager behind their back. I never gossiped about the manager behind their back. And when it came time for my request, the days I wanted off, or if I had any type of request, I always got what I wanted. And I got favoritism. Because I stayed on their good side, I wasn't a threat to them. Okay? Plan to the end. In life, in my life, I don't do nothing without a plan of attack. Nothing without a plan of attack. In order to have a plan, you got to have a goal. What you want to accomplish. What's the end game? What's the prize? What's the accomplishment? Then you strategize. And then you move with tact. Make sure y'all check out my video on being tactical. But it all starts with a plan. You got to continuously plan to the end. What's the end game? What's the goal? What do you want to accomplish? Okay? And don't stop until you achieve it. You know? Never pass your mark. Okay? Once you accomplish what you accomplish, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Okay? This is one of the ones that I have to work on because we get cocky. We get confident. When the job is finished, the job is finished. You celebrate, you move on to the next goal. Don't try to overdo it. Okay? A very important one. Hide your intentions. Don't let people know what you're thinking. Don't let people know what your plans are on the chessboard. Don't let people know how you're moving on the chessboard. Okay? Play a sucker to catch a sucker. It's okay to play dumb. It's okay to play stupid. It's okay to play weak. Key word, you're playing it. And when the circumstances arise for you to flip the table, you flip the table. You turn the tables. You turn the circumstances, you turn the situation into your favor. And like I said earlier, this is all within the contents of dealing with opposition, dealing with enemies, and dealing with competition. You can't be direct with opposition. You can't be direct with an enemy. You can't be direct with competition. This is somebody, or this situation is holding you back. So you have to be tactical. You have to be strategic. You have to be indirect in how you deal with it, because you don't want this situation to get the best of you. You don't want this person to get the best of you. So you must maneuver on the chessboard indirectly, secretly. Don't let them know what you're doing. Okay? And I'll be honest to you, it may feel weak, but see, this is about the long game. Okay? It's all about the long game. Act like a king to be treated like one. What you believe about yourself is going to carry out in your energy, your body language, your walk, your demeanor. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It's about what you think about yourself. Okay? You are what you think you are. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You believe it. Don't offend the wrong person. That's another one. You got to be very careful on offending people. You have to watch what you say. You have to be others-minded. And you got to be careful how you treat people, because you never know what's bubbling, what's cooking on the inside. This has nothing to do with being scared. This has nothing to do with being fearful. This has everything to do with being mindful. Being 10 steps ahead, 5 steps ahead of yourself, and 5 steps ahead of the situation. The more quiet a person is, the more a person is taking, eventually it's going to reach the surface. Especially when you know what you're doing to that person is wrong. It's all funny until it's not funny. You don't know how far a person is willing to go. And just because you're doing it to them, you're disrespecting them, you're offending them, you're saying things that are disrespectful to them, that doesn't mean that they're going to retaliate against you. They might get somebody you love. In my personal opinion, and people might disagree with this, nobody can tell me how to handle something that happened to me. Nobody can tell me how to retaliate to something that happened to me. Nobody can tell me how to react to something that happened to me. So be careful on who you offend. You don't know how far they're willing to go. You don't know how long they may plan. You don't know when they're going to attack. If you know you're doing something to somebody that's wrong, you disrespecting them, you don't know what's going on in the inside. And you're going to find yourself on the short end of the stick. You can sit here and laugh around other people. You can sit here and think it's funny. But if you're not careful, sooner or later, it's not going to be funny. It might not be funny to you, or it might not be funny to somebody else. So never offend the wrong person. Treat everybody with respect, no matter who they are. Because you don't want to have yourself on the short end of the stick from somebody that's quiet, that's a silent assassin, that allows the anger to bubble up within the surface. You don't know what's going on the inside. And all it's going to do is take one day you're going to hit the wrong nerve. One day that pot is going to boil over. You're going to hit that rock for the final time, and it's going to crack. You've been chipping away at that rock for years. One day it's going to crack. And you don't want to be on the short end of that. Okay? Be formless, which is my favorite. My favorite 4-day law of power is the last one. Always adapt. Always be on the move. You got to always adapt to the times. There was a time where cell phones didn't exist. There was a time where glasses didn't exist. There was a time where t-shirts didn't exist. There was a time where sneakers didn't exist. You have to constantly adapt to the times. Never take a form. You must be like water. Make sure y'all check out that video. Be like water, Bruce Lee quote. You have to adapt to the times. Whatever the situation is, you become that situation. Whatever the circumstances is, you become that circumstance, just like water. Put water in a small cup, it becomes a small cup. Put water in a big cup, it becomes a big cup. Put water in the ocean, it becomes that ocean. Put water in a pool, it becomes that pool. Put water in the tub, it becomes that tub. Okay? Always adapt, always adapt, always adapt. And my favorite part of the 4-day laws of power is the preference. So many gems was dropped in the preference. I can't tell you how many times that I've listened. I've never really read the preface. I've always listened to it. It's just something about that guy's voice that does the audio book of 4-day laws of power. He has the perfect voice to be reading the 4-day laws of power. And there's so many things I learned from the preference. The grass will grow if you give it time. Anger is the most destructive form of emotion. It clouds your judgment. You know? Be patient. Patient will protect you from making mistakes. The past is only a learning experience. Mistakes that you will never make again. Situations that you will allow yourself to never be put in again. That's what the past represents. And the most important thing I learned from the preference was, it's not so much all the time what you do, it's what you don't do, what you don't allow yourself to get caught up in. Being very careful and objective when allowing yourself to come to somebody's aid or to help somebody. Because once you involve yourself, now the consequences is on you. So I highly recommend the 48 Laws of Power. I highly recommend you read it, you listen to it, and you apply it in your life. Written by Robert Greene. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. And always remember, life is a game of chess and every move counts. Know the board, know the pieces, win the game, play the perfect courtier. Put your hand inside a velvet glove and move in direction with your opposition, your enemies, and your competition, and win in life. Enjoy your day.